Hi, this is JD with a new edition of Weekly News Pills, a bouquet of handpicked events in last 7 days from across the planet as usual. I would request you to like and share these weekly news stories, subscribe to my channel and put in your valuable comments. Your comments will be a guiding light in my endeavor. News Pill 1. Amazon's Alexa could soon mimic voice of dead relatives.
Amazon believes nothing says I love you like hearing it from your grandmother who may have died 15 years ago. Amazon is working on new technology to make Alexa mimic the voice of anyone, dead or alive, with just a short recording. The e-commerce giant showed off the idea at its Remars conference this week in Las Vegas. Check out the video shown at the event.
Alexa, can Grandma finish reading me The Wizard of Oz?
Okay. But how about my courage? Asked the lion anxiously. You have plenty of courage, I am sure.
Well, you heard it. Alexa affirmed before changing her voice into the young boy's grandmother's.
Amazon's Alexa might soon replicate the voice of family members even if they are dead. The capability unveiled at Amazon's Remars conference in Las Vegas is in development and would allow the virtual assistant to mimic the voice of a specific person based on a less than a minute of provided recording. In a video played by Amazon at the event, a young child asks, Alexa, can Grandma finish reading me The Wizard of Oz? Alexa then acknowledges the request and switches to another voice mimicking the child's grandmother. The voice assistant then continues to read the book in that same voice. News Pill 2. Aftershock in Afghanistan as Quake toll rises to 1,150 dead.
In Afghanistan, where at least 1,000 people have been killed in the worst earthquake the country has seen in 20 years. The 6.1 quake struck in the middle of the night. Paktika in the southeast has confirmed the most deaths. But the tremors were felt by 119 million people in Afghanistan, Pakistan and also India. Rescue teams are still searching for people buried underground and the Taliban has appealed for international help.
An aftershock took more lives Friday and threatened to pile even more misery on an area of eastern Afghanistan reeling from a powerful earthquake that state media said killed 1,150 people this week. Among the dead from Wednesday's magnitude 6 quake are 121 children, but that figure is expected to climb. On Friday, Pakistan's meteorological department reported a new 4.2 magnitude quake that state-run Bakhtar news agency reported took 5 more lives in hard-hit WION district and injured 11 people. Trucks of food and other necessities arrived from Pakistan and planes full of humanitarian aid from Iran, Qatar and the United Arab Emirates. India sent a technical team to the capital Kabul to coordinate the delivery of humanitarian assistance. India said its aid would be handed over to a UN agency on the ground and the Afghan Red Crescent Society. News Pill 3. COVID vaccine saved 20 million lives in first year, scientists say.
Researchers say nearly 20 million lives were saved by COVID-19 vaccines in the first year after they were introduced. The study, which was published in the journal Lancet Infectious Diseases, is the first attempt to estimate the number of deaths prevented directly and indirectly as a result of COVID-19 vaccinations. It found 19.8 million deaths were prevented out of a total or potential 31.4 million deaths that would have occurred if no vaccines were available.
Nearly 20 million lives were saved by COVID-19 vaccines during their first year. But even more deaths could have been prevented if international targets for the shots had been reached, researchers reported Thursday. On December 8, 2020, a retired shop clerk in England received the first shot in what would become a global vaccination campaign. Over the next 12 months, more than 4.3 billion people around the world lined up for the vaccines. The researchers used data from 185 countries to estimate that vaccines prevented 4.2 million COVID-19 deaths in India, 1.9 million in the United States, 1 million in Brazil, 6,31,000 in France, and 5,07,000 in the United Kingdom. News Spill 4. Netflix lays off 300 employees in cost-cutting drive.
And once booming OTT or video streaming business of Netflix is in losses, and now Netflix has laid off 300 employees, or about 4% of its workforce. It is in the second round of job cuts, which are aimed at lowering costs. Earlier, the streaming giant lost subscribers for the first time in more than a decade. The move mostly affected its US workforce and came after the company cut 150 jobs last month.
Netflix on Tuesday said it has laid off about 150 people, mostly in the United States, as the streaming service company faces slowing growth. The layoff represents approximately 2% of the company's workforce in the United States and Canada. These changes are primarily driven by business needs rather than individual performance, which makes them especially tough, as none of us want to say goodbye to such great colleagues. The company said in a statement, "We are working hard to support them through this very difficult transition." As a result of its declining growth, Netflix said it would introduce a cheaper ad-supported tier and look more closely at its spending. That is all for today. Thank you and goodbye for now. Stay blessed. See you in my next weekly episode.